tripod. Oh well. $77. What's up? How you doing, man? Yeah, I'm just chilling out waiting on my oh yeah, I'm resting at home too. The last 2 days at work beat my ass. Like it was bad. It was bad, so bad. So yeah, I am resting at home too, and I'm waiting on my oldest kid to show up so we can watch a movie and hang out. But I figured while we were doing that, we could do a live stream for the first time in forever. Um, just hang out and talk. And I got a new tattoo finally. And so now I'm waiting on my next one. And then I got one more planned after that. And yeah, I don't know what the one following that's going to be. Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't know if I want to get into ice cream right now. Maybe later. Maybe later. But yeah, like my entire personality right now is get tattoos. But yeah, like the last 2 days at work, I went in on Monday and we were missing one of our team leads, so I wound up doing double the amount of work I normally do, and that kicked my ass. And then I went in yesterday, and that same team lead wasn't there, so I ended up doing again double the amount of work usual, and I got woke up like 2 hours early to go in 2.5 hours early, and yeah, I was exhausted all day yesterday. I'm still exhausted right now. Oh, no, 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 no. No, I am not doing that kind of spicy. No, sir. You are on your own. You are on your own, brother. Yeah, no, no. I understand ice cream is supposed to fix that, but I don't have any experience with it at all. Oh, no. No, no, no. But I'm hanging out in the workshop right now, and I am still thinking about my next blacksmithing project, which maybe I'll do tomorrow. Maybe. I gotta um I gotta make a tomahawk out of a hammer. But well then again, if I fire up the big forge, I can use what I got here. I don't know. Maybe I don't have to go get a new hammer. But yeah, who else we got hiding in here watching? Yeah, I thought about doing some knife sharpening this morning, but I don't have the energy for it, and all of my knives are sharp right now. Like I don't have a reason for it. And I thought about doing the testing on the Miguron, but I still have 2 videos to do on the Cardboard Slayer follow-ups that I've got to do, and I'll be honest, I haven't felt like it. Like I haven't felt like doing anything for YouTube in about 2 weeks here. But let's see if I can get this on camera all the way. Yeah, there's the tattoo. Just a guest. What's up? How you doing, man? Yeah, I got it for my kids. There's Jay and there's Clover. So I got a blue jay with clovers. Yeah, like the guy that did it knocked it out of the park. There's a couple small things to fix on it, but nothing major. But yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I'm waiting on it to finish healing up now. I got it done on a Wednesday last week. So it's not quite done healing up. It's coming along nicely, but it's not done yet. And I wish I could show you my other one, but if you guys jump on Instagram and follow me, I will be posting a picture there of it. I'm not super active on Instagram, but that's where pictures of stuff like that wind up going. 300. That one cost me $300. And the next one's going to be 400, which I would love to spend the YouTube money that I'm getting on that, but I need the money saved up for Blade Show, at least a few hundred. So I'm hanging on to that. But yeah, it's oh man, burned images. No, tattoos aren't cheap, but I'm getting a good price on the ones that I'm getting. The not the next tattoo, but the one after it, I'm planning on getting a stained glass skull on my arm, which I've been thinking about doing since my stoner days back in the late 1990s. I have been thinking about it since then, and I haven't done it yet. And while I was getting this tattoo done, it hit me. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do that one too. The show is going to be right at the beginning of June next year. And at the rate things are going, with the channel's income, I may just have to work with all the money I've got right now, which is 300 or 400 bucks, and go to Blade Show and get what I can, and sock it away for future videos because the channel is not making any income right now. Like doing branding, you're ballsier than I am. There's no way I want to get burned. No. So the prototype came out good, but that project is dead. There will be no knife on Amazon to buy. That project got canceled. We got as far as getting prototypes in, and then the project, it just went bye-bye. Like, I would have to read you the specific emails to kind of give you the timeline of what happened, but basically, at first they said if we're going to produce it and sell it, then we could make you some prototypes and then split the revenue basically. And then I guess they got restructured and the point of contact changed or something. Because they came back and they're like, we're ready to sell you the knives for 15 bucks a piece and ship them out to you. And then like ship them out to you. And then we'd have to resell them, which I'm not set up to handle at all. And so that would be paying for all the knives to come in, paying for the shipping. splitting what's left 2 ways and spending the amount of time it takes to get things shipped out, which, that's not cheap. The shipping is not cheap at all. So we had to kind of put a pin in that. And then if we did a Kickstarter for it, we'd have to raise like $12,000 to cover the initial order, and then hopefully cover shipping and have something left to split between me and KO Knives. So it fell apart. Like I'm just not set up to handle shipping them all out. If we didn't have to handle the shipping part, we might have been able to pull it off, but I'm not set up for it. So we couldn't do it, which is unfortunate, but at least I got some prototypes out of it. And emotional support caffeine. It's okay. Like, I'm still looking forward to supporting Jen and doing what we normally do with them. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bummed out by it. Because that was going to be one of my tattoos. When the knife went live on Amazon, I was going to go get a tattoo of the knife itself and have that on my arm. But without YouTube being there, or without the Amazon listing being up there, there's no point. Which is okay. I am happier with the Blue Jay. Like I said, that one's for my kids. So I would have been I'm really happy I got that one, even though it's not necessarily it's a beautiful piece of art. It's a beautiful piece of art, and I'm glad I have it, but it's not what I would have picked out for myself to begin with. I gave the tattoo artist the idea and said, have at it, man. And let him go wild with it, and that's what he came up with. And I saw the render of it before I got it tattooed, and it's just like, dude, that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. So it's not going to match the style of my other tattoos, but that's okay. It's going to wind up being a pretty eclectic mix, but that's kind of me as a person anyways, a very eclectic mix of personality traits that don't necessarily match each other. But yeah. Hey, you guys that are lurking, what you guys got going on, man? Pop in and say hi. I got a few hours to kill here. And yeah, I tried firing up the PlayStation for a few minutes and I got bored immediately. I really wish I wasn't getting so bored with the PlayStation. Yeah, some shy people. Everyone's shy right now. But no, I wish the PlayStation was holding my attention better, because I could have been happy just sitting there for the next 3 hours until my kid showed up running games. No. Oh God, work is going as good as it can. I am going to be going back to opening soon, which I do not want to do, but our opening team lead is quitting. So I'm going to be responsible for opening the store up again. And I don't want to. I can't tell you how much I don't want to go back to that. That absolutely ruined me as a person. The amount of stress and the amount of difficulty that came with our particular crew. No, I don't want to. Like, it shouldn't be a permanent change. We should be replacing him. Should. So I won't have to stay there permanently, but I don't want to deal with it while it's happening. No, 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 no. BO1 and BO2. I'm trying to remember what that's the acronym for. BO1 and BO2. BO1 and BO2. I like the closing shift the best. Closing is a lot easier than anything else, but the mids, I'm doing a lot more work supporting the crew doing mids than anything else. So that's where, oh, okay. Yeah, COD blops. But like I'm doing a lot more work supporting the crew on mids than I was doing on closing or opening. So yeah, with a missing team lead, we are going to be struggling. But we'll get through it. Other stores get by with 2 team leads instead of 3, so we're going to have to do it ourselves. We're going to have to get by with 2 team leads. Yeah, so I didn't play a lot of COD Blops, but I did play World War II on the PS4. I absolutely loved that game up until the point that ooh, Rayman. I have actually not played Rayman. I've seen it and I wanted to play it and then never got around to it. But with World War II, I had a lot of fun playing that game. A lot. I enjoyed it. But for some reason, we hit a point where the faster my internet connection got, the Yako, what's up? How you doing, man? But the faster my internet connection got, the worse hit detection got. So I could be standing 2 feet away and dump a mag point blank, and I wouldn't get a hit marker until halfway through it, and that drove me up the damn wall. You didn't miss a whole lot, man. I'm just killing some time right now before my oldest kid shows up. I think you're with me on Instagram, so you saw the tattoo that I got. That's about all that you really missed. And then I've got my next tattoo lined up. Yeah, same address. Same address. Why? What you got for me? And I did not swap the batteries out in this thing before I started this, so I'm gonna be without nicotine for a while. No, I've got to get my bandsaw blade replaced. I can't cut a bead blank straight to save my damn life. So right now there's no new beads. Oh, the Watchful? Is that your newest one? Man, I'm out of caffeine. I'm out of nicotine until I go upstairs and swap batteries out. Ugh, what a morning. No, that's cool as hell, man. I appreciate it. That's cool as hell. And then I will owe you a Cardboard Slayer session. Yeah, that's really cool, man. Yeah, I'm happy that you're making money doing that too, man. That is really cool. That is really cool. Oh man. Yeah, just send me the written down details with that thing, the especially the steel. Still, like it's cool that you're making money with that. That means it pays for itself and then some, which is hard to do. It is hard to make something like that pay for itself. So you're covering that pretty nicely. But yeah. Wow, so this keeps popping up. Add a Q&A sticker. This time it's a food that should be illegal. which is avocado. But no, I totally get it. Hopefully HVAC pays you well. I kind of wish I would have gotten into something like that because, like, right now, oh, there's no way in hell I could start doing that. There's no way in hell. I ain't got enough ass left to do that work or to do that kind of work. But if I would have gotten started when I was younger, then right now it would be no big deal to just keep doing it. It would be no big deal at all. But yeah, like starting that is a game for the young guys. Yeah. Yeah, if you're fixing ACs, you should be making decent money. You should. Maxilla, what's up? How you doing, man? We're just killing some time right now. But yeah, like like I had mentioned earlier, I have not felt like doing anything for YouTube in a couple of weeks now. And now that I started getting tattoos again, that's all I care about. Um, that is all I care about. Like I said, I got my next tattoo lined up. I am excited to get that done. And if you guys jump on Instagram and follow me there, you'll be able to see the tattoos as they happen. I was hoping, I was hoping that my tattoo artist had some blacklight reactive ink for this next one. He doesn't. He doesn't have any blacklight reactive ink, so I'm not going to get to do what I wanted to do with it. But it's okay. The piece is still badass. I was just hoping to embellish it a little bit. It's a guy's face. It's a guy's face split in half this way, and in between the two halves of the face, there's a skull. And I wanted the skull to be blacklight reactive, so it looks like a normal black and gray tattoo. And then you hit it with the black light, and the skull lights up. Oh, that would have been so good. Oh, I don't want to spend case knife money. No. No, like I know Case Knives has a reputation for quality, but no, the like from what I've seen, from what I've seen online, their quality has gone pretty far downhill, but the price hasn't. And yeah, the old Case Knives should be a lot better. The old Case Knives should be a lot better. I know for a while there, I wanted to do a cardboard slayer session with the case knife and just kind of check out the steel and see how it holds up. Um, I haven't been able to find a beater case knife to whale on. So I'm not that worried about it now. I've got enough crap to do cardboard slayer on to last me the rest of the year, and then some. And so right now I don't feel like it. Like I haven't done the videos on the last two cardboard slayer sessions that I need to do, so I am so far behind. And like today, I am too tired to get into it. So I'm gonna hang out with my oldest kid, and I am going to watch a movie with them when they get here. I said I went into work exhausted on Monday and got my ass beat by work. And then yesterday I got woke up like 2 hours early and I was there at work 2.5 hours early. And yeah, I was exhausted when I got there, and yesterday was a heavy workload. Which, if y'all aren't familiar with the process, once a week we have to go through and all the displays in the store have to be torn down and rebuilt for the next week. It is a lot of work with 3 people, Like with 3 people, we're basically spending our entire day doing that. Some weeks we get through a little early, some weeks we don't. We only had 2 people to do it. And because we were having to act as if our team lead wasn't going to be there to open today, we had to finish all of it without any backup in the morning. And that workload was so heavy. And I woke up way earlier today than I wanted to, but yeah, I am so tired right now. That's why we're doing this format, and I'm just hanging out and talking to you guys rather than doing cardboard slayer or knife sharpening or something like that. I'm just too tired. And yeah, I'm trying to hang out with my oldest kid as much as I can. Uh, yeah, once I get switched over to opening, our schedules aren't going to line up anymore, so it's going to be way harder to hang out. It's going to be way harder to hang out. Like I want to go back. Like I don't want to switch off of mids. As much as I don't like going from Thursday to Friday every week, I do want to switch back to mids and do that, or stay on mids, but I can't. I am gonna have to go to opening, and it is what it is. Yeah, as I said, it's brutal. It's brutal, but once it's done, it's good for the week, and then we don't have to worry about it anymore. But man, that one day a week, it is a heavy workload. Like that is the heaviest workload of the week. But yeah, like I planned on being completely unconscious until about noon, and I couldn't do it. I'm waiting for my tattoo artist to get back to me. Like I am hoping the idea of adding the black light ink to the next tattoo is cool enough that he's willing to order the ink for it. I don't expect it at this point, but I keep hoping that maybe you'll come back and say, yes, I do want to do that. But yeah, we don't have digital. Everything is all paper. Oh, that's brutal, Maxilla. But I would love for things to switch to digital so we don't have to worry about it as much. But the kind of cost involved in switching that through 1,000 some odd stores in the chain, that ain't happening. We can't even get a broken door fixed in a reasonable amount of time. Like the back door has been broken for oh like 2 months now, maybe longer, and we still don't have it fixed. So that's been a pain in the ass. But at least we had someone in there yesterday from the company trying to figure out why it hasn't been fixed yet. Oh, this chair is not comfortable. I wish I knew what I did with my tripod. I don't see it back here. Yeah, thankfully for me, once I'm off work, I'm off work. My last manager would blow my phone up, and I would get 1 to 2 calls every day I was off work, and then when I was at work, nonstop phone calls. Um, nice, Yako. That's a fun little tidbit. But my current manager has texted me all of twice and that was to let me know about schedule changes. And that's all the communication I've gotten outside of work. It's been so nice. It's like they're not supposed to be calling you when you're off work, anyways. Um, but my last manager, no, no such thing as personal time. Like he'd be off work and at home, and still blowing my phone the fuck up. When I was on the clock, just with more and more and more and more shit to do, and it's like, bro, I don't have enough hours in the day, and you're pissing me off here. You're off work, be off work. So yeah, it's ooh, it was bad. Uh, Thankfully, this is a rare week, and I've got 2 days in a row off. So tomorrow, I am going to be doing nothing. Yeah, our loading ramp is pretty flat, so we don't have to worry about that. But it's still a pain in the ass for trucks getting back there, and it's a pain in the ass to get shit unloaded. It sucks. Those pallets get so heavy. They get so heavy, and the ramp getting from the back of the truck to the dock has a huge bump on it. So when we hit the ramp coming out of the back of the truck, it's really hard to keep stuff on pallets without the pallet falling over. Like they did a bad job designing that thing. It sucks. We have had so many pallets because like the warehouse does not give a fuck when they're stacking those pallets. They don't care if they've put enough wrap on it. They don't care if they've stacked it safely. Nothing. So there's been a lot of pallets that fall over just from touching them, and a lot of pallets that fell over when they hit that ramp. It's been so bad, and there's nothing anyone can do to get the warehouse to straighten it out. You know, we'll send pictures to the warehouse of whole pallets that fell over in the truck, let alone being moved, and there's no fixing it. Yep, those batteries are flat. Which in a minute here I may leave y'all to stare at the ceiling while I go get more batteries. Jeff Venture, what's going on, man? How you doing? We are just hanging out and killing some time right now. As you can tell, I am half asleep, but I am waiting for my oldest kid to show up. Oh, ooh, uh, yeah, I woke up way too early. Like I tried to stay asleep until around noon, but I woke up 3 hours early. But yeah. Oh yeah, the last 2 days at work absolutely beat my ass. They beat my ass. We're like one of our team leads just did not show up for 2 days in a row. So I've been pulling double duty, um, trying to make up for the lack of a team lead, and I got run ragged. Gandalf. I wish I looked that cool. KO Knives, what's going on? How you doing, man? Yeah, I am shit mixed, and I've got to go to my tattoo shop and pick up some cards for my artist. I got people asking questions about it, about the most recent tattoo, so I need to get some cards to hand out. Let's see, it is 9:30 here. I want to go back to sleep so badly, but I cannot sleep right now. And now that I'm waiting for my oldest kid to show up, like I'm doing that ADHD autistic thing where it's like I have something that's going to happen in 3 hours, so I can't sleep or do anything else until it happens. Yeah, KO, you tend to stay up a little late. Um, I got home from work and I had to go to sleep. Um, and it was nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough. Thankfully, like I had mentioned earlier, I've got tomorrow off too, so I got a chance to at least rest for an extra day. But yeah, the work is beating my ass so bad. Yeah, no, for someone my age and the amount of work that I'm doing, it is never enough. Like I could be off work for a week straight and still be tired going back. And it's like for Blade Show, I took 11 days off. And to be fair, it was partly my fault for doing a million. It was my fault for doing a ton of live streams and constantly pushing myself to do more and more on YouTube while I was off work. Um, but yeah, it's still I went back to work tired after 11 days. Yeah. Most of the time, I'm either going to sleep when it's still daylight outside, or I'm waking up and it's been daylight all day. I'm either going to sleep at like 6 o'clock at night, or I'm waking up at noon. So I've got a thick wool army surplus blanket covering my windows so that I don't get sunlight in my room. Um, but part of that is my sleep schedule is so irregular. I never have a chance to I never have a chance to really get on a good sleep schedule and get back to normal, whatever the fuck that is. Um, I've never been on a cruise. I've kind of wanted to go, but I've never been. So I don't know anything about knives you'd be allowed to take. Oh yeah. Like I imagine cruise ships are big, but I also imagine they're way bigger than I think they are. Yeah, I said my sleep schedule is all whacked out. You know, 3 days a week. No, 2 days a week. I have to wake up at noon to go in and close, and then 3 days a week I have to wake up at like 8 to go in and do a mid, and it really throws me off. It really throws me for a loop, especially Thursday. I got to wake up at noon to go close, and then Friday I got to wake up at 8. So like I'll get off work around 11, and then drive home, and then I got to be awake at 8 a.m. to go in and do a mid, and that always messes me up real bad. And then I'm waking up at noon again on Saturday to go close. Um, like that kind of sleep schedule will mess your shit up so bad. But yeah, I love knife rules like that because it's like, bro, there's no point in putting a bunch of rules in place. If you're gonna allow a non-locking folder, just allow a locking folder. Like the 2.5 inch rule, I can kind of see why, but also like it seems really pointless. But if you're going to allow knives, just allow knives. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to let y'all stare at the ceiling for a minute. I'm going to go get new batteries for this thing. I'll be right back, guys. Yeah, if you're able to hijack a ship with a pocket knife, um, you're able to hijack the ship with a steak knife. You're able to hit with a butter knife. Good MF 35th, what's up? How you doing, man? I'll be right back, guys. Ooh, look, there's the ceiling. All right, guys, I'm coming back. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. I think I found my tripod. Hooray. That's my broken tripod. Oh, there's my tripod. Hooray. Okay, that is easier. That is easier. Yeah, I'm not even sure having to have a non-locking blade at 2.5 inches, I would even feel like it's worth carrying. Like, I feel a little bit weird walking around without a knife, but at some point you're like, you know what, it just doesn't matter. No, like, yeah, like I feel weird without a knife. I've been carrying them so long that I feel weird without one, but at some point it's like, why bother? At some point it's just, why bother? My ability to care is greatly diminished, and having to go to those links for it is just nah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if it was me, I would probably carry a smaller Rough Rider just because they're $10 and they're good knives. Or I get them for $10 at Blade Show. I'm gonna garbanzo that bean till that chickpeas. Good morning, J Dude +2. But yeah, the Rough Riders, I get them for $10 at Blade Show when I'm there. And if I lose it, it's a $10 knife. It'll irritate me, but at the end of the day, not that big of a deal. Yeah, that's what I'd carry. If I had to do a 2.5-inch non-locking blade, Rough Rider's the way to go. Which, that makes that easier to show off. Kind of. Yeah, I just got that done on Wednesday for those of y'all that haven't seen it. I just got that done. But I was going to say, yeah, I'm just waiting on the next tattoo. I am waiting on it. I am excited about it. Which, that one I'm not going to be able to show off at work because it's going right here, and my shirt sleeve at work won't ride up like this so I can show it off. So that one's going to be for me. Christ almighty. I am so tired, guys. I am so tired. I am probably going to sleep on the early side tonight, and then I hope I can sleep late. I hope I can sleep late. I may double up on the sleep meds, even though I'm not supposed to. This'll knock me unconscious. What'll 2 do? Yeah, I want to. I wanted to be asleep right now, and I can't. I said I gotta hurry up and wait as fast as I can for my kid to show up. Yeah, I mean, the way I am about losing knives, I may buy I would maybe buy yeah, their VG10 is solid. Their VG10 is solid. But I would end up buying 2 of them just in case one of them got lost. Cuz I lost a multi-tool. Fuck. What was it? Like 20 years ago? Something like that. I lost a multi-tool, and it still bothers me, even though I bought a replacement for it. I found the same one again. Uh, I finally remembered what it was, and I bought another one uh, last year, and it still bothers me that I lost that thing, and I still have no idea how I lost it. Um, but I did. And it's just like the Kaiser Mini Roach I lost at Blade Show 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? Or 3 years ago? I replaced that thing finally, and it still bothers me that I lost that thing. I have no idea where it went. We searched the car that I rode home from Blade Show in thoroughly. The only thing I can think is it fell on the floor at Blade Show somewhere and someone got a free Kaiser. I wonder how tightly they actually enforce. Well, no. Like, nobody could have just stolen it from me because I had them in a bag that had clips on it where you couldn't get in there without me knowing, which is why I carried that bag. Um, so you really couldn't get in there and steal it from me without me knowing that you were there. Um, and I had my arm over the clip every time I wasn't really looking at it or using the bag. So there was not a good way to get in there without me being very aware that you were trying to get into my bag. I dropped it somewhere. I dropped it. And I'm pretty sure it wound up being on the floor by the Vosteed table. And do you guys remember a couple of years ago, I was talking about knives with thermochromic scales and how badly I wanted one? Kajerb has done that now. And like I tried to talk Vosteed into doing it first, but CJRB, they've done it. Those crazy bastards. And I want one, but I don't have like $50 floating around to spend on it right now. My spare cash is going for tattoos. Yeah, my spare cash is going for tattoos. I've got 2 more to get, and then I'm out of ideas for a while. I would like to get a third one to go right here, but I don't know what yet. So that's going to wait until I figure it out. But yeah, it's yeah, how far into saving up to get your own company started are you now? Because I know you're working on that. How far into that are you? But yeah, like I've been racking my brain trying to think about what that third one is because not very. Okay. Like this arm right here is going to be for color pieces, and this arm right here is going to be for black and gray. For black and gray pieces, I've decided. Which it may not look that cool to other people who are into tattoos and all that shit, but I'm not that worried about it. You know, I may change my mind later, but you know. At the end of the day, I'm getting them because I want them. Um, I'm not getting them to impress other people. I like showing them off, but I'm not getting them to impress other people. I just can't wait for this one right here to finish healing up. Like it's not done healing up yet. It's still less than a week old, but I can't wait for it to finish healing up. Yeah. Um, I would love to be able to get more prototypes made just to hand them out, just to give them to people. But yeah, I don't have the money to spend on it. So I'm not going to worry about it. It will be nice, but I'm just not going to worry about it. yeah. So the pricing ain't that bad for doing something like that, but no, given the way the channel's income has tanked, given the way the channel's income has gone down through the basement floor, I may have $300, something like that, to go to Blade Show with, and that's it. So yeah, I gotta hang on to that. If I get lucky and I skip out on buying a Devo prototype, which I hate doing, then I might be able to get, let's see, 6 or 8 new knives to work with, which is not what I want to do. I'd like to get closer to 15 or 20, but there's only so much you can do. The channel has gone from supporting itself with a little breathing room to not supporting itself at all. No, dude, KO, I totally get it. If I had to buy just one knife at Blade Show, I would try to find my Hogue Misto with the water pattern on it and the titanium scales, plain edge drop point. But I really can't burn $300 on one knife and keep the channel going for, because I'll get a week's worth of content out of it, maybe 2 weeks, and then it goes in the pile. So for me to buy that, no, I have not seen your most recent trade. I have been scrolling through Instagram, but like your stuff hasn't popped up in my feed in a while. It hasn't popped up in a while. Like I'd have to go actively search your page for me to see what you've been doing. But like the most recent thing I've done is I followed my tattoo artist to check out his flash art and check out his other work, trying to get ideas to put right here. I'm trying to figure out what I want there, which I may figure it out in a week. I may figure it out in a year. I don't know. Yeah, I know about the Nkosi because you've talked about it, but the Enduro model, I don't know. Oh yeah, because you did a live stream taking that Enduro apart and putting it back together again, didn't you? So I remember seeing the title of that live stream. I have been too tired to watch live streams, but I do remember seeing that title. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Right now, I am running on one phone, not two, so I can't open up Instagram while I'm doing this. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm always curious to see a new lock. And I'd be curious about playing with it, but again, the money ain't there. So it's not the end of the world. I said that I haven't felt like doing anything on YouTube in a while here. Um, I may be taking a break from going through a lot of effort to make videos and just swapping knives and worrying about the live streams on them later. Um, but it's again part of it. The views going in the toilet, the channel's income going in the toilet, and the channel not supporting it itself anymore makes it real hard to be gung ho about doing stuff. That's just like with the live streams, with the views going in the toilet, it makes it real hard to mentally justify doing another live stream. I'm doing one right now because I wanted to hang out with you guys and keep myself occupied until my oldest kid gets here, which should be in another couple of hours. Yeah, well, I mean, part of it is like if the channel never supported itself, then I would probably still be a little bit more energetic about pushing out content. But the fact that the channel was supporting itself with some breathing room for a while there and then suddenly stopped is painful. Like, it is painful. It is very, very disappointing. I've made my peace with it, but like I don't expect the channel to start supporting itself again for a long time. Yeah, like I've got 120 coming in at the end of the month, and that's it. And that's probably going to be the last time I see anything come in for a while. Because the minimum payout is $100, and it's going to take me forever to make another $100. It just is. Maybe if I was doing live streams constantly and people were, yeah, it definitely happens. Maybe if I was doing constant live streams and people were kicking in at $2 here, $2 there, I would be doing a bit better on the channel supporting itself. But I've got a full-time job. I can't constantly be doing live streams. Yeah, and I mean, the shorts, I don't have the energy for it right now. I don't have the energy to be going through all the extra steps on a channel that's not supporting itself. And the number of views on the shorts required to have that help the channel any is ridiculous. Yes, I do get bored with it. I am kind of bored right now, and that's part of it. The lack of engagement and the loss of the channel supporting itself makes this boring. We'll put it that way. It makes it boring. And unfortunately, I am not really one to force myself through something successfully when I'm bored with it. Like, I did a video. I did a flashlight video. I've got all three parts of it recorded. They are ready to go through the editor and getting uploaded, and I still just haven't done it. And it's been there on my it's been on my phone for like 2 weeks now. Like, it's been sitting on my phone for 2 weeks, and it's just like I don't want to go in there and sit there in front of the computer for that long. I just don't. So it'll like, yeah, Aiden got the KO syndrome. I got the KO syndrome, but it is what it is. It'll be all right. I'll be back at it hopefully soon, and maybe I'll be excited about doing stuff again soon. But I'm not even that excited about swapping knives out and carrying new knives. And I think part of that may be that Miguron was such a disappointment. Um, I'm disappointed with Miguron right now. And you can tell the difference between guys that carried the Miguron and worked with it and guys that didn't. OPSEC 1441, what's going on, man? I have been drinking 14 eggs every day and I'm still stuck in the Matrix. Maybe I didn't put enough kerosene in them. Mafia Gorilla, we got Japan in the house. What's up? How you doing? Maybe I'm not putting enough kerosene in the eggs. Maybe that's why I'm still in the Matrix. Yeah, like, you can tell, like, the guys that have used the thing and actually carried it, that know that the pocket clip is about as fragile as it gets and the amount of blade play that shows up versus the guys that just did their video unboxing it and showing it off and then not doing. Yeah, oh, mine got so bad. Mine got so bad. It was so floppy. And the guys that just unboxed it and went, "This thing is amazing. You gotta get one for $35." You know, this is part of where untouched and mint. This is a big part of why I do the carry. This is part of why I carry these things for a week or two and live with them for a while and see how they actually do. Because, you know, that's how you find stuff like that. That's how stuff like that happens. Yeah, and the 62 to 63 HRC, I'm looking forward to testing that out and seeing what kind of a difference that makes. Just not right now. Not while I am not feeling doing the content. Because I'll never finish that live stream. It'll be broken up into like 6 parts over 6 weeks, and that's just not me. But yeah, I mean, I'll be excited for it again. I'll be back at it again. It's just right now, nah. And then, you know, with the broken pocket clip, nice KO. Very nice, man. Very nice. But with the pocket clip situation and Miguron just being like, well, it costs a lot to ship a pocket clip to you. Like, bro, this is the first time I think I've experienced something where a company is not backing up its product. At least not effectively backing up its product. That was just super disappointing. But you know, what do you do? I was definitely looking for the average customer experience instead of saying, "Hey, this is going on YouTube. You may want to send me a pocket clip to look better online." You know, I wanted to get the average customer experience so that I could tell you what to expect if something went wrong. You know, it's sucks, but that's the reality. Like the pivot getting loose and floppy, that is fixable. Did you send your stuff into Benchmade to get fixed, or are they just not willing to fix it? But you know, the all right, 77, we'll see you next time. But you know, the pocket clip, apparently a Civivi pocket clip can fit that. I'm not sure which one. I may try flipping some or swapping some pocket clips out to find the right one and see if I can find one that fits, and then order a new one from Amazon or something like that. But yeah, the pivot getting loose and letting the blade play come in, you can at least fix that at home with a little bit of blue Loctite. But fixing a broken pocket clip, you're not really going to do that. Yeah, like I know they don't want they don't want parts breaking and blade play showing up on their reviews, but it is what it is. They're not going to get back to me and say, "Hey, we saw your video, let me fix it," or anything like that. Like they're not going to do that. Ooh. My blade play was fixable. I just tightened that screw a little bit and the blade play was gone. It was back to like new. If I put a little blue Loctite in there, it would never be a problem again. And knowing you, I know you had that Karoq apart. I know you had that Karoq apart and tried to fix it, knowing you. Yeah, that sucks. And I mean, that was part of why I was excited about getting the Karoq. Like, I've heard so many good things about Miguron and so many good things about the quality of a Miguron, that I was caught totally off guard by the shitty pocket clip and the blade play showing up, and then them not willing to back it up and send a new pocket clip. Um, you know, thankfully, I'm at the point where I've handled so many knives and gone through so many of them that it's just like, fuck it, throw it on the pile, instead of me being really, really heartbroken about it and being super butthurt. It's like, they won't fix it? Oh well, I got another 20 some odd knives to go through. On to the next one. Somebody in the comments on the Miguron video said that a lot of guys are having problems with that pocket clip breaking, and apparently it's not uncommon. And apparently it's not uncommon for guys to have blade play show up. It's just the guys that are carrying it and using it are seeing it happen. But the guys that are just unboxing it and showing it off and then moving on to the next one, they're never going to know. Logical nonsense. So, yes, I believe in God, but this is not the right place for religion. We don't do religion here. We don't do politics here. It just makes life a lot easier for the comments. And a lot easier for me. Do you believe in God? Because you're about to meet him. Yeah, I'm also kind of wondering how many people have emailed Miguron about the broken pocket clip and they got the same response. Just, it's too expensive to pay shipping on just a pocket clip, so we're not sending one. Like, I don't know if it's because they're not sending them from an American location. But that's like the Karoq that I ordered took a week and a half to 2 weeks to show up after I ordered it. Yeah, like, I don't understand why you would be releasing something like that with that much hype behind it to not have an American warehouse location for it, but that's just me. Like, there should be an American site. Like, they should have somewhere in America the knives go to be distributed in America, just to make the process a lot more seamless and easier for the end user in America. Yeah, I think they said I think they said in the chat that it was about 35 bucks a piece to ship the knives to America. But yeah. Yeah, it was 20 or 30 bucks. But yes, CRKT CRKT, I haven't handled enough to develop a really firm opinion on them, but the CRKTs that I have, I like quite a bit. I bought the really weird CRKTs, but I haven't bought any of their more traditional, mainstream, regular knives. I keep wanting to, but like at Blade Show, they don't have anything for sale there. And I haven't, like, I've put a few of them aside on the wish list on Amazon to pick up. And then I wind up not getting them because other things show up, or I don't have money to buy it whenever I find it. Um, if they did anything, if they had stuff for sale at Blade Show, I would definitely have some by now. I would definitely have some by now, and we would have had some data points on the steel's edge retention and at least some kind of feedback on what it's like to live with one for a week or two. But like CRKT and Benchmade apparently are not allowed to sell stuff. Are not allowed to sell anything at Blade Show. They can only display. Who else? I know CRKT and Benchmade. And I know there were one or two others, but I cannot remember which ones they were, which is weird. Like, it seems like you're really losing out. It seems like you're really losing out by just displaying and not selling at Blade Show. I don't know. The CRKT that I wanted, was it the Walker that has the weird lock on the blade? Yes, Yako, I believe that's why. I believe it's because they had deals with it might be White Mountain Knives. Yeah, the Walker blade lock. That's the one that I actually do want. And I keep forgetting it exists. And it's also a bit too expensive for me to just grab it like I would grab, say, a $25 or $30 knife. It's just a little too expensive for me to just impulsively grab it. You know, I need to have a few bucks put back. And it just hadn't happened. But yeah, I believe it is. Or no, Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I believe they have a deal with Smoky Mountain Knife Works to not sell, and to not sell against Smoky Mountain Knife Works also selling them. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening there. Because I went to Blade Show right after the Walker came out, and I was excited about getting one at Blade Show. I went straight for the CRKT booth, and oh yeah, they're not for sale here. All right, fuck, I'm not buying one then. And I am so glad I got new glasses because I can actually read the fucking chat from here instead of having to lean in and squint. But yeah. At some point, I need to pick up some more mainstream CRKTs and just check them out. As I said, they may be okay to live with, aside from maybe subpar steel on the blades. But I have to get my hands on a couple of them and carry them and really see what they're like. Which, you know, as much as I love when CRKT does weird shit, you would think I would have had a bunch of them by now. The more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, a knife with a bunch of socks printed on it. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be hilarious. Either that or socks with a bunch of knives on them. I bet you, I bet you there's somewhere on Amazon where you can get socks made custom for you, and it's probably not that expensive. Um, I almost want to look at that, but I don't want to spend any money right now because I'm saving for tattoos. Um, I am saving for tattoos, is what I'm doing. Yes, you can, Yako. But I don't need anything lasered right now. Um, I can't even think about what I would have lasered for that. But I haven't ordered any birds. I've looked at them. But I do have a couple of Ganzo copies of birds that have different locks on them. And like, I don't like the fact that Ganzo just copies stuff and then throws a different lock on it. Seems a little disingenuous. Demi Rock Safa, what's up? How you doing? Definitely a beautiful stream of nonsense. I like it. I like the stream of nonsense. Yeah, I have gone and looked at Spyderco factory seconds and Spyderco clearance, and yeah, the prices might be good for a Spyderco, but again, it's just I can't blow the YouTube channel's entire budget on like one knife. And right now the budget ain't that much, which it is what it is. You know, I am so grateful. I am so grateful I had enough support and the channel is supporting itself well enough to pick up the edge sharpness tester and pick up the precision adjust professional and pick up the extra stones for it. But I'm glad I got that when I did. But you know, like I mentioned earlier, the channel is absolutely not supporting itself right now. It's okay. What the hell was that? Oh well, must not have been important. But, you know, it ain't the end of the world, but I definitely had hopes and expectations that I had hopes and expectations that the channel would be fully supporting itself by now and kind of not running itself, but you know, had stuff coming in from manufacturers, stuff like that, where I didn't have to pay for everything out of pocket. And when I did have to pay for stuff out of pocket, it was no big deal. But no luck there. You know, I also had expectations that my channel growth would have been consistent up until now, and I would have been right on the cusp of 10K subscribers. My skills ain't to par. You mean sharpening skills? It's okay. Um, my sharpening skills are getting a lot better, but for some reason, I am still not beating the Precision Adjust Professional on my numbers on the sharpness tester. Um, I'm matching it. I am matching it really well, but I'm not beating it. And that may be just because the scores, like the numbers, are not going to be possible to beat without really, really refining the skills over a long period of time. Yeah. Well, and part of that too is my hair may be a little bit too fine and slick to split. Hey, we got Indonesia in the house. How you doing, man? Welcome. But you know, it is what it is. You would think that by now, with the stones that I have and the amount of practice that I have gotten, I would be splitting hairs, but it's just not happening. Hey, I appreciate the sub, man. Thank you. But yeah, like, and outside of just a lot of practice over a lot of time, I'm not sure where I'm going wrong on it. You know, I'm laying the knives as flat as possible. Cool Cat, what's up? How you doing, man? We got Los Angeles in the house. How's it going? Yeah. So, like, I'm not super worried about it. Like, I can get a knife sharp enough to where I'm happy with it and I can carry it and it's got a sharper than working edge. Um, you know, right now, I am okay with the fact that I'm getting numbers as good as the precision adjust. That makes life a lot faster and easier. It makes it a lot faster. Yeah, like it's okay. I'm not in a huge rush. You know, I'm always a little bit disappointed when I don't hit the numbers that I want to hit, and the level of sharpness I want to hit. But I'm also in no rush. You know, I can make them sharp enough to where I'm happy with them. Uh, Words are hard, but I'm just I'm not gonna burn up a lot of my mental capacity worrying about it that hard. You know, I got a lot bigger things to worry about. I said, you know, right now with the channel, with the state of the channel, nice KO. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. But with the state of the channel, the much bigger concern is how to get the channel supporting itself properly again. And short of turning it into a borderline full-time job on top of my full-time job, um, 40 would be nice. Um, but you know, trying to without turning it into a second full-time job and relearning how to do a lot of things that I don't know how to do right now. Um, you know, photoshopping the thumbnails for maximum impact, going through and say paying for background music in the videos and bumping up the quality of the edits and getting a lavalier mic to make it sound better and a lot of extra work that I don't want to do right now. I think the channel's just going to be kind of stuck where it is. Um, yeah, I'd be very happy getting under 100. That's what I keep hoping for. I keep hoping that I can consistently get them under 100 on a regular basis. But yeah, I mean, without dumping a ton of time and effort into it, I think the channel's just stuck where it is. I haven't moved off of 6,470 in months. Like, I'll pick up 2 subscribers, I'll lose 2 subscribers. I'll pick up 2, I'll lose 2. I'll pick up 2, I'll lose 3. I'll pick up 1, I'll lose 1. It never gets any better, and the channel just does not grow. I don't know why I'm getting a phone call. I don't know. Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people subscribe and forget. 6,400 subs, and the number of views on a video that I get hasn't changed from, oh God, 2,000, 3,000 subs. The number of views per video hasn't really gone up any. If I hit like a really big hype knife, or I hit an Ozark Trail and do a video on it that takes off a little bit, I'll go from 130 to 150. Like, normally I am peaking at about 130 views for a long form video. That's kind of the top dollar on that. And then occasionally an Ozark Trail or something. It's always Ozark Trail. Who are we kidding? An Ozark Trail will take off and get 3,000 or 4,000 views, and then I won't see that many views, and I won't see any channel growth. I won't see any channel growth off of that, like 4,000 views. Nothing. Yeah, my net positive is 0. It might be -1 or 2. Like, when I say there's been no channel growth, I mean 0 for months. Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, but what do you do? What do you do about it? There's just not much to do. I said it's just, and you would think if I was getting punished for taking been back on and been consistent and been uploading and been doing things. Yeah, and you would think the videos that I had that really took off would be carrying the channel at least a little bit, but no. It's, again, you pull 3,000 or 4,000 views on a video and 0 new subscribers. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what the shit's happening here? Yeah, and I think, not directly ripping you off, but somebody on Reddit or somewhere could not figure out how to close a frame lock. And I did a short, just real quick, showing them how to close a frame lock and shared it with them, which I don't think is done very much. But that was also a real quick slap it together and get it sent to the guy so he could figure out how to close the damn thing. Yeah, and that's why I haven't done a series like that. You've already done it. We don't need another series. We don't need a whole other series on that. And right now, I go to Reddit, I just scroll, and my feed is not much that I want. It's a lot of stuff with a lot of views on it, or a lot of reads, or however they count it. It's stuff that's, I guess, getting a lot of traction, but not the stuff that I'm there for. So I'll read whatever's on eh, like I'm not posting on Reddit or doing anything there because it's just like um, I don't feel like it, and it's just yeah. Thankfully, it's not politics. Thankfully, it's not politics, but I'm not posting on Reddit. I will open the app up and read for about 10 or 15 minutes and then I'm done. And that's like every 3, 4, 5 days, something like that. It's not every day. And it's just like Reddit is not giving me a reason to care. You know, um, I would like to be like I would enjoy being more active on a bunch of different platforms, but I don't have the time or energy. Like I just, especially I don't have the energy. Um, People that don't do content creation, um, yeah, Instagram, nothing happens when I post something, so I'm not posting there too often. Um, I will probably be posting, well, I will be posting tattoo pictures when I get them done, but I'm not really that worried about it. Um, People that don't do content creation don't quite get that it takes energy. It takes energy, and mentally, it takes a little bit of strain to do a lot of work. Um, it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of mental energy, and it can take a lot of time to stay active on 3 or 4 or 5 platforms. Just staying active on one platform takes up a good bit of time and takes up a good bit of energy and it takes up a good bit of mental capacity. It takes a pretty large handful of spoons to do all that. And, some people have got the energy, some people have got the time, and some people force the time into place. I'm just not able to do that. Um, that's like forcing a lot of the time and energy into standing in front of the lathe making beads. Um, there'll be a while where I have to be making them to be okay, and that's the only thing I care about. But if I'm not in that mode, I just can't make more. It's just I don't have it in me, and I'm okay with it. Like I'd love to be cranking out large batches right now and getting them to my buddy to sell them, whatnot. But and right now I got to replace my bandsaw blade or figure out why it's not cutting right. But my bandsaw blade I'll cut. I'll try to do a straight line and it'll curve a whole lot off path, and I can't use those blanks. I can't use them for anything. So right now I'm kind of sidelined until I buy a new bandsaw blade and see if that's the problem anyways. TX, Texas Hill Country, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, factory seconds. Yeah, here's a bunch of oops blanks. But it's like I'm okay with where it is. I'm okay with not worrying about it right now. And it's it's not a big deal to me. Like I would like to be doing more, but yeah, the hardest part of getting started on YouTube for me was getting comfortable talking to the camera. Like that was the hardest part. I don't remember how long it took to get 50 subs, but all I was doing was shorts, and I picked up a handful of subs, and then once I got comfortable talking to the camera, then I started like as I made a plan, get comfortable talking to the camera, get comfortable doing more than 45 seconds to a minute, doing crash course reviews. And then I was like, okay, now I'm ready to start doing long form videos. Now I'm ready to start doing more with YouTube. And that was definitely passion project, and that was trying my hardest to get to a point where the channel supported itself. And I was there for a while, but not right now. Definitely not right now. And that's definitely where, like KO was talking about, I'm at a point of burnout again. I burned out real bad and took a break, and then I came back. I threw a lot of time and energy into it, and now I'm burned out again. And part of that too is if you don't see growth, you don't see results coming in, you don't see income, you don't see manufacturers reaching out or anything like that, you got nothing to show for it, it makes it real hard to keep going. Like I burned out, I took a 2-month break, and then I came back, and I came back swinging, and I've got nothing to show for it. Like, it's been months of pretty consistent, constant work. The live streams, the regular videos, the plenty of activities. It's been real consistent, and I've been putting a lot of effort into it. And over months, I haven't gone from 6,470 subscribers to 6,480. I have been staying right at 6,470. Like, I haven't even picked up 10 new subscribers. Like, and you would think I'd be at 7K by now. You would think I'd be at 10K, especially how fast the channel started growing for a while there. Nothing to show for it. Absolutely nothing. I wasn't going to do a live stream today, but I'm waiting for my oldest kid to show up, and I can't sit still while I'm waiting for something to happen, and I couldn't sleep. So here we are. And, I got a Leroy Footlong. What's up? How you doing, man? I appreciate that. I try to make things at least, if not the most entertaining thing you've ever seen, I try to make things very informative. Like more information than you would get from other places and different information than you would get from other places. KO Knives, get you some sleep, man. I appreciate you dropping by. But what was I saying? Yeah, like I try to bring a different perspective in and bring different information in that I've seen on other channels, so that there's more information out there. And try to help the community out, and help be and be a part of the community. But if you appreciate it, I appreciate the fact that you like it. In Texas Hill Country, it's not necessarily that I'm trying to rake in a bunch of cash. I would love for the channel to help pay some bills. However, a channel like this where I have to keep, I gotta keep buying knives to review. I've got to keep buying them, and then I'll carry them for like a week, sometimes 2 weeks, and I'll do the review video on them. I'll do a live stream. I'll follow that live stream up with one more video. So I'm getting like 4 videos out of a knife, and you break that down, and the minimum cost per video breaks down to about $5 basically, sometimes cheaper if I buy something. No, I don't make knives. I don't make them. It turns out I'm not really good at making them. I am okay with that. I have tried making them. I don't have the patience or the time or the money to get good at making them.
I do reviews. So I will buy a knife and I will carry it. I'll do a review. I'll do a live stream. I'll follow that live stream up, let you know how the live stream went. And then I'm on to the next one. So that being said, I have to be buying knives pretty constantly. And that's where the channel supporting itself comes into play. Um, I am on a pretty tight budget. I don't have much breathing room outside of getting bills paid. Um, so, like, I can't really afford to come out of my paycheck for a lot of stuff. Um, the money's just not there. And right now, I am trying to avoid spending money so I can get some more tattoo work done. I've got two that I want to get. One of them I've put a deposit down on. The other one I am going to have to save up for. And that's what I care about at the moment. Um, I've started getting tattoos again, or I should say, I got my third tattoo, and right now I want to get more. And I'm kind of hyper fixated on it. So I'm trying to get them while I'm hyper fixated and get them done and over with. And then I'm good for a while, and then I can save up and figure out what the next one is and work on building out, good coverage, decent sleeves. It's probably going to be a handful of larger pieces and then fitting smaller pieces in there as I can figure it out, but it's going to be a really eclectic mix of stuff. It's going to be pretty random. Hey, that looks cool. Slap it on my arm. Rather than having one cohesive, huge sleeve that's like thousands of dollars and dozens of sessions to get the full sleeve put in. Like, they look cool, but they're not for me. One arm is going to be for color pieces and one arm is going to be for black and gray. And by the time I get my arms covered, I may be moving on to chest pieces and back pieces. I don't know. I kind of don't want another back piece after how badly the last one went. Let's try to read this name, but hi, how you doing, man? Welcome. Is that Tanman? Maybe I got that right, but I probably didn't, but I tried. But like the first tattoo I got was on my back over my right shoulder blade, and it turns out I had a spasmed muscle that was on top of a nerve that was being pressed on by spinal curvature. And every time the tattoo needle went over that spasm muscle, the amount of pain that created is beyond description. The pain was so bad that my right eye, I went blind in my right eye. Like, it was nothing but white. That's all I saw. And it would be like that for about a second and a half, 2 seconds. And then the needle would go over it again. And boom, pain. I can't see out of my right eye. And then the needle would go over it again. And at that point, I was halfway into it. So it's like, well, I have to ride this out. The piece has to be finished. The piece was a whole bunch of words. And it was a memorial for someone I was close to that passed away. And it's like, I can't have this half finished. That would be, having half a sentence on your back, which wouldn't look right. So I was like, well, I got to ride this out. And, compared to that, the other tattoos I've gotten have been pretty easy. But yeah, I don't know if I want another piece on my back after doing that. Because my back muscles are spasmed and there's a lot of them. But I may get to the point where I want so many tattoos that I do start getting pieces back there again. You know, right now I'm working on my arms and getting those covered up. You're not coming in at the tail end again. We got maybe another 45 minutes or an hour, something like that. I'm just waiting for my oldest kid to drop by to hang out, watch movie, chill. Um, Try to hang out while our schedules still line up for the next couple of weeks. I am being forced to go back to opening because our opening team lead is quitting. So, once I start opening again, our schedules aren't going to line up and we're not going to get to hang out very often anymore. Unless I really, maybe I can make something work, but, you know, we're not really going to get to hang out for a while. Once, if we get a replacement team lead, once they come in, they're going to go to opening and I'm going to go back to mids and have my schedule back. But until then, I'm going to be stuck opening. Yeah, well, like my youngest kid's all the way in Montana, so we don't get to hang out unless we're playing Fortnite together. My oldest kid lives like 20 minutes away currently, so hanging out while we can. You know, they've got their work schedule, I've got my work schedule, and we just happen to be fortunate that we both have Wednesday off consistently. But once I start opening, I'm going to be working every Wednesday, which is what it is. But Punisher, how's you been? And when I do live streams while I'm opening, they're going to be back to being at like 6 in the morning again. Which maybe I'll pull a bunch of the international crowd again, like I was last time. The last time I did morning live streams, they were back to pulling the old numbers where we were like 12, 13,000 views for a stream. Maybe we'll pick that back up again. I don't know. I've kind of resigned myself to the channel not growing or supporting itself. Samuel Nordyke, what's up? How you doing, man? You know, I've resigned myself to no channel growth and the channel not supporting itself, but maybe we'll pick some growth up and maybe we'll see numbers again. Nice, Punisher. Yeah, I just got my third tattoo on Wednesday, so right now my brain is in get tattoos. That's all I care about. So I'm trying to capitalize on that while I can and get my next two pieces done. Yeah, well, right now, you know, I'm waiting for my kid to show up, and when I'm waiting for something, it's like hurry up and wait faster. And I could have either sat in bed and been bored as shit trying to find videos to watch on YouTube, or I could have sat in front of the PlayStation and been bored as shit there. And I decided to hang out with you guys for a while and get a live stream in. It's just I don't want to do Cardboard Slayer. I don't want to sharpen any knives, so hang out in the shop. And, you know, like yesterday and Monday beat my ass at work so bad. Our opening team lead was not there. And I have been having to do a lot of extra work to make up for the fact that he's not there. And I am paying for it right now. But my recent carry is that Kaiser Original 2 that I did I think that was the last video that I did. The Christmas edition Kaiser Original 2, which, Evil Twin, what's up? How you doing? But I'm really enjoying that Kaiser. Kaiser hasn't really let me down. The only thing that I haven't liked from Kaiser was the Bagai, and that's just because the steel was really soft, which may have been by design to make the steel tougher, but I don't know. But yeah, I gotta show you guys. Yeah, the watch me sleep streams are confusing, but check it out. Just got that done on Wednesday. I don't have a Gerber Freeman. To carry, but it's not working late. Monday I went into work tired, and Monday was brutal because again we were missing one of our team leads that opens the store and breaks down the truck for the guys, gets things moving, gets most of the truck worked. He wasn't there yesterday. And yesterday was our busiest day of the week. So I was doing a bunch of extra work trying to make sure that I covered basically 1.5 people's worth of work. So I went home exhausted. I came home exhausted yesterday. And I got woke up before I had a chance to sleep the medication off. I got woke up early and had to go in like 2.5 hours early, and we pulled a miracle out of our asses and actually got the whole store. We got the whole store reset for the next week's ad, but I came home exhausted and I woke up too early today. I have been checking my email. I reached out to my tattoo artist to see if he had any blacklight reactive ink, because there is tattoo ink that goes on invisible and it reacts to a blacklight. And I have an idea for that. My next tattoo is a guy's face. It's like a 1950s dad, and the face is split in half, and in the middle it's a skull, and it looks really badass. It's a super funky, super stinky looking design that I saw on the flash art wall and I had to get. I put a deposit down on it, but I'd like to have the skull in the middle filled in with that blacklight reactive ink, because that would be fucking badass. However, he got back to me and said that he didn't have any blacklight reactive ink, but I floated the idea by him. So I don't know if y'all heard that, but I'm holding out hope that maybe he'll order some ink because the idea is so cool. Ooh, that one was bad. It's a bad time to be sitting still and not moving, as of a few seconds ago. But I keep hoping that he likes the idea that I had enough to actually get some blacklight reactive ink so that we can do the job together. I don't want to go see somebody else to have it done. I'd rather have the artist that did the tattoo do his own work and, modify his own work. But if I want it to be blacklight reactive, I may have to see somebody else to get it filled in. It's just the way it is. And then again, I may just go blacklight reactive and try to convince him to get some blacklight reactive ink for the next piece. But I really want this one to be blacklight reactive. It is what it is. I said he got back to me and said he doesn't have blacklight reactive ink, but he asked what the idea was. So I gave him the idea, and we'll see. Maybe he'd actually be willing to order some ink. Right, Evil Twin. The ink is invisible until a black light hits it, and then it lights up. And and that ink is supposed to last 3 to 5 years of normal wear. If you keep it covered and you don't get it beat down by sunlight and everything else, then it'll last maybe 8 years without fading too much, which I'm fine with, because if it works and I get what I want out of it, I could always go get it done again and get more blacklight ink thrown on there and enjoy it for what it is. I'm planning on putting it right here because it's a large piece. It's going to basically go from here all the way down to here. If you want to drop a follow on Instagram, then I will post a picture of the tattoo when it's done. And it's going to be, I really like it. Everybody that I've shown it has either been like, that is cool, or they don't get it. And it's, again, I'm getting it because I want it, and I love the style on it. The whole 1950s dad vibe with the skull going on in the middle just does it for me. So I'm definitely getting that done. It's going to be a $400 piece, which that's not cheap. But for a tattoo of that size, it's really, really well priced. Yeah, it's going to be kind of like the tritium sights for a gun, but with black lights involved. And it's not like I'm going to be around black lights constantly. It's just I love blacklight reactive stuff, and I think it'd be really cool to have that particular tattoo with that particular blacklight reaction. India, Temples, Secret, Rom Data 262. What's up? How you doing, man? Another beautiful stream of nonsense. It's not going to look like a 70s poster, but it's going to have that black light. So yeah, there's a little bit of that vibe there. Like I said, I may not be able to get blacklight reactive ink for it, but it would be real cool if I could. Maxilla, what's up? Like I said, it may just be a black and gray tattoo with no blacklight on it. But if I can get my guy to do it, I would rather have his hands on his work than get it done and then have to go somewhere else to get it to get the blacklight done. So it just may be it may be black and gray, which still it's a cool piece. It's not the end of the world. I'm not going to be ultra heartbroken about it. It's just I do want a blacklight reactive tattoo. I just think they're neat. And maybe once I get my next two pieces done by my guy, I can call around and find someone that can do blacklight work, blacklight reactive work, and then I can look at their flash art and see if there's something that I want out of that and go from there. I know what my next two pieces are going to be, but I don't know what's going to happen after that. I want to put a stained glass skull right here. Just a stained glass skull. And I know the guy that I'm currently working with, he does good work with skulls. So I am hoping I give him the reference images and he pulls something out of his ass that's fucking awesome. I'm pretty sure he will. Once he's got an idea what I'm looking for. And then maybe that one could be blacklight reactive. Maybe. That would also be extremely cool. And that's one I could show off at work and show off and have it visible even when I'm wearing a shirt. Which is part of why that's part of why I did this one where I did. So I wanted to be visible and I want to see it. Which I got that one done for my kids. So that's why it's kind of different from my usual style. I gave the artist the idea. I wanted a blue jay and clovers, and I was like, I'm gonna let you have free reign on it. You do you with it. And when I came back to the shop for my appointment, he knocked it out of the park. It wasn't what I had in mind. Like it wasn't like it's not necessarily the style I would have gone for if I picked it out for myself, but it's a beautiful piece. Django Fett, what's up? How you doing, man? Welcome. Welcome back. Yeah, I said I've been looking through Flash Art and I've been looking through trying to find ideas for piece number, let's see, 4, 5, piece number 6 going right here, and I don't know what yet. I don't want to get yet another skull, but I don't really know what I want to do. No, the channel logo is right here. That's on the right arm, and then this is on the left arm. Like, I'm not going to cover up the channel logo. That I wanted to get for a couple of years before I finally got it. So that's staying there. This arm is going to be for black and gray, and this arm is going to be for color, unless I change my mind at some point. But, yeah, lives tend to flip where my right arm is showing up on the left of the screen and my left arm is showing up on the right of the screen. And like this would be turned backwards. I don't know how to fix that. But the Blue Jay is still healing, so it's driving me nuts because like I want to see it already fully healed. But I'm just gonna have to wait, and I'm not the most patient guy on earth. Especially not with stuff like this, where it's like I want it to be healed and over and done with. Yes, Django, I am streaming from a phone with the front-facing camera. That's what it is. It's the front-facing camera. Normally, I stream from the back-facing camera. This time, I am streaming from the front-facing camera so I can read comments without having a second phone. You're right about that. Django got it. Yeah, I forgot about that too. I haven't used a front-facing camera in so damn long that I completely forgot that was a thing. But I will say, one of those interesting phenomena is like, Death Metal Son, what's up? How you doing, man? It's kind of like when you're good, Death Metal Son. We still got about another 45 minutes to an hour to go, and then we're gonna cut this so I can hang out with my kid. We're just hanging out. We're just hanging out. Right now I'm talking about tattoo work. Talking about tattoo work and cameras being mirrored, the image being flipped while I'm using the front-facing camera. But I'm waiting for my oldest kid to get here so we can watch a movie and hang out. And since I didn't want to be bored sitting in bed trying to find something to watch on YouTube, despite not wanting to watch anything on YouTube, and I don't feel like the PlayStation, it's not holding my attention right now. Fuck it, live stream time. Yeah, I don't take selfies all that often either. Like it's always weird seeing my face on camera. Um, it's always a little bit weird, but again, given enough time being on camera and talking to the camera and talking to you guys, I've gotten used to it. But it's definitely weird. Hey, yeah, Facebook. Oh man, I barely do anything on Facebook. I will Ooh, nice. I think we're watching Into the Spider-Verse. That's what my kid wants to watch. So we're gonna do that. But yeah. I think I'm gonna save my trip to the tattoo shop tomorrow to get some more business cards from my artist. Just because I've gotten a lot of compliments, and I've gotten 3 people asking about the artist and asking for information on the artist. So I need to get some business cards to give those guys. Because I am happy with the work. There's one tiny little thing to fix, but I can always get that fixed when I get the next tattoo done. And then that piece will be finished. So I like sharing information. I like helping with word of mouth wherever I can. But I promise you, all I've been doing is staring at this new one all week. Like all I've done with my free time is stare at the new tattoo, which oh yeah, my profile picture. Um, my profile pictures on Facebook are always me photoshopping my face into something ridiculous. Um, just because the profile picture is just a thing to me. I don't know. I find it funny. I think right now it's photoshopped into a king. So like I'm wearing a crown and I got all the royal garb and all that stuff. But yeah, like I barely use Facebook. I'll log in, I'll check the memories on it, and then I'll read for a few minutes and see what everybody's doing. But it's also, I don't have a second phone on me to show the pictures. Um, I don't have access to those pictures right now. Um, but it's not a big deal. Um, it's just not. Um, the hell was I gonna say? I don't know. I am fucking exhausted. My brain is moving so damn slow. But yeah, like I'll read and oh yeah, the tattoo. It's that right there. Like it's not fully done healing up. It's not fully done healing up. Um, like there's still stuff peeling and the skin is still kind of wrinkled up a little bit, which may be leftover adhesive from um, the Saniderm they put on it. But yeah, I got that piece for my kids. That piece is for my kids. The next two pieces are going to be a lot more wild. I said the tattoo collection is going to be an interesting mix. But yeah, my Facebook feed is almost nothing but random shit from random people, and then it's like it wants me to follow these people, and it's like that's not what I'm here for. I want to see what my friends are doing. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what these randos are doing. I believe I have a copy of the Erotic Witch Project. I should still have a copy of that, but that one is softcore. So it did the job for a while, but you know, given how far I have gone into the adult material and all that, like, softcore doesn't do it anymore. Yeah, Facebook Messenger is about all I use. I don't use it. It's become something I don't care about that much, which is probably for the best because I see a lot of shit from a lot of people that should be better than that. And it's some of the worst shit. Like, you know what? No, thank you. What the hell was that noise? Somebody slammed something really hard. It sounded like someone damn near ran into a car with another car. Ugh. And I gotta make more juice and I don't want to. At least I got one more full tank out of this bottle. Boy, I think tonight I'm going to double up on my sleep meds and try to keep myself knocked out for as long as possible. I shouldn't do that, but I need the sleep so bad. Like I've been waking up early for I have been waking up early for days, and I'll wake up after about 5 hours and then spend another 30, 40 minutes going back to sleep again, and then wake up another 2 hours later. And my shit's all whacked out. I am so fucking tired all the time. And yesterday fucking did me in. Hang on, guys. Okay, that's not here at my house. But I heard car doors shut, and I heard a car beep when someone locked their door. And I walked through a spider web. Hey, buddy, I am not doing Kratom. I have no desire for Kratom. Yeah, I am, and that's part of why I haven't done anything on YouTube. I'm having a hard time interacting with it, and I'm so tired right now that I don't have the energy for it. You know, that's why we're not doing Cardboard Slayer. That's why we're not doing knife sharpening or something else, and just hanging out right now. Is I'm just too fucking tired. Like if I don't fall asleep during the movie, I will be lucky. Well, yeah, KO Bunny, I have medication to sleep, but it's not doing what it needs to. Um, I can't take a nap right now. I am unable to fall asleep. That's I tried to go back to sleep and I tried to go back to sleep and I was awake like 30 minutes later. Um, I can't function. And unless I'm full of medication, I don't sleep. Um, and I don't know when my kid's gonna show up, so I don't want to be taking a nap when they come in, but this is a non-narcotic. It's not that it's addictive. It's just that I have a hard time sleeping unmedicated. There's a degree of there is a degree of PTSD that makes it very, very hard to sleep unmedicated. If I could go to sleep without medication right now, I would drop that shit immediately. I don't like how I feel while I'm waiting for it to take effect. And I don't like the fact that I have to keep upping the dose in order to keep sleeping. Like, I don't like sleeping medicated, but it's the only way I can sleep. No, it's Rimron. Um, I said it's a pretty lightweight non-narcotic, but it was doing a good job for a while, and then here lately, it has not been working out for shit. So there's not much I can do about it. I am going to double up on them tonight, and hopefully that will keep me unconscious long enough to feel at least kind of recharged when I wake up tomorrow. I was going to borrow some muscle relaxers, which are also non-narcotic. But we don't have any. Just to help my back and legs and everything quit hurting. I didn't even bother trying to fix the pocket clip on the Karoq. If I were carrying it anymore, but I've moved on to the next knife, if I were to carry it long term, I would be looking for like a Civivi pocket clip or something like that, but it's not worth the effort for something I'm not going to carry anymore. Melatonin does not do shit for me. You know what? I need to try the CBD that I've got out. I need to find that. I do have some CBD that's fairly potent. I need to try that out and see if that doesn't help. But yeah, I'm disappointed with Miguron. Well, it's not weed. I can't get into THC. CBD is no THC. My body chemistry backfired some years ago, and now if I smoke weed, it's smoking a 7 hour long panic attack. I want no part of that ever again. It was awful. So I don't want any part of that. And the other part of that is if I were able to smoke weed without having the panic attacks, that would go. It would go from smoking it once to I have to be high 24 hours a day or I'm not all right. Like that. All it takes is one. I have no control over that shit. I have learned that the hard way, and I don't drink, I don't smoke weed, I don't do anything. Well, yeah, and it would be fine if one that were a known thing that really came out and the information was passed along from Miguron to everybody else. But it's not. Like this right here is the first I'm hearing of it. And then if they fixed the problem, instead of saying shipping was too high to send a pocket clip to replace it, I would also not have a problem with it. That would have been, hey, I had a problem, but their customer service is solid and they sent me another one. That would have been fine. That would have been just fine. I wouldn't have had a major problem with that. I would have been annoyed that the pocket clip broke, but mistakes happen. And sometimes you get a lemon, but for them to say, yeah, the pocket clip is too expensive to ship, so you're going to have to buy one when you order another knife from us, it's like, bro, really? That's how you back your product up? I don't like it. So yeah, I don't know whether or not I'm going to spend money on another Miguron. It may have to wait until, if by some odd miracle the channel grows enough to where Miguron's like, hey, can we send you samples to review? I don't think I want to spend money on a Miguron that could be spent on something else. Like I didn't. Yeah, Punisher, basically. But yeah, unless Miguron reaches out and says, "Hey, would you like to review some products for us?" And we can, or like, can we send you some products to review? And Miguron reaches out. I am probably not spending money on them again. That was a disappointing experience. And I wish the channel had a farther reach so that I could show. Like I wish the channel had a larger reach so I could show more people, hey, here's what happened and here's your average customer experience if something goes wrong. Because, if I really wanted to push it, I'd be like, hey man, I got a YouTube channel. This is going in the videos. Are you sure this is how you want to handle this? But I wanted to see what the average user experience was like, and the channel's small enough where it probably would have gotten brushed off anyways. So, like I wish the channel had a larger reach so more people had that information. But we are where we are. It is what it is. We were talking about that earlier. And cases like this are how you can tell whether or not a channel is actually doing a deep dive on it, carrying it, living with it, seeing where problems come up, or just doing an unboxing and being like, this thing is excellent. You absolutely have to get one of these. Like, yeah, and that's what I was just driving at, is like, if you're not using the knife and putting it through its paces, um, what are you doing? You know, I don't mind when guys say, "Hey, this is an unboxing. It's just an unboxing." Um, that at least I'm behind that, because unboxings do have some value to them. But if your full review is just an unboxing and you're not saying, "Hey, this is just an unboxing," you know, do with it what you will. That's where I kind of take umbrage to it. It's like, bro, that's not a full review. Like, I want to know, what's it like to live with. Um, the Karoq is one that everybody was going on about for a couple of weeks there. Um, because of the 62 to 63 HRC that you're supposedly getting from the blades. But I said, I didn't really see many people actually taking it out in the field and using it. Which is, that's why I do things the way I do. It may not be the most entertaining knife video you've seen in your life, but I try to provide information and provide different information than I see from other reviews. Um, like, provide some information you might not get from somewhere else to add to what's already out there. But I don't know about 62 HRC. What happened was I was carrying it and the pocket clip just snapped. It didn't get caught on anything. I didn't abuse it. I didn't do anything wrong with it or anything like that. I carried it just like every other knife, and the pocket clip snapped. And the pivot loosened up and introduced an ungodly amount of blade play, which affected the centering and everything else. The pivot loosening up, I can fix with thread lock. It's not for everybody. You shouldn't have to fix a pivot like that. It should be good to go from the factory, because I only carried it for like 9 days, and the pivot loosened up that much, which was a ding. But the pocket clip snapping, with no abuse, was a big problem. And I reached out to them and said, "Hey, my pocket clip snapped. Can we fix this somehow? Or can I get another pocket clip?" And they came back and said, "The pocket clips are too expensive to ship by themselves. However, we can ship you a new one when you buy another knife from us, and it'll only cost you $5. And it's just like, wow, really? That's how we're doing this? No, thank you. Uh-uh. As I was saying, if I was going to carry it for a long time, like Punisher said, Civivi pocket clips should fit it. And I would probably be looking for a Civivi pocket clip to slap on there if I was carrying it for a long time. And, but I'm not. It's not worth the hassle to go online and order a Civivi pocket clip to fit that thing, because one from the factory broke. If I'm not carrying it, it's just I got an unpleasant experience, or what I would consider to be a bad experience, from their customer support. And that's the end of the story. I'm gonna do Cardboard Slayer with it when I feel better, and we're going to see whether or not that extra HRC makes a difference at Cardboard Slayer. But you know, at the end of the day, I had a bad customer experience. I had a bad end user experience in the story. You know, and that end user experience was what your average customer can expect, because I'm not a well-known YouTuber. I'm not like a big channel. To Miguron, they don't know I exist. They don't know that I have a YouTube channel and this stuff's getting posted. So what I got was what your average consumer would get out of that experience, which it is what it is. But yeah, for cutting up rope, I would have expected I would have expected a noticeable improvement in performance, but you know, if there was a slight improvement, then at the very least you're getting good D2 for the price. But the advertised 62 to 63 HRC may not really be a big deal at the end of the day. But yeah. No, I mean the heat treatment on the blade is going to be a different heat treatment than the pocket clips. But yeah, like I personally, I would be surprised if it did badly for D2. I would expect a noticeable difference in performance on the factory edge. But we're going to have to see for ourselves at a point where I feel better and I am able to actually sit down and dedicate the time to it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like the Karak, it seems like they have a legit 62 to 63. But, you know, like Evil Twin was saying, that may not add up to a whole lot of difference in edge retention. It just may not. Yeah, the Civivi D2 that I got on the Zizzle, that did good. It did what D2 was supposed to do. We got the 4 hours out of it on the factory edge. It did good. Um, you know, I'd like to see 5 or 6 hours out of the factory edge on the Karoq, but we may not get that. That extra couple of HRC just may not be a big deal. Really good for advertising, really good to get people's attention, but may not add up to a whole lot at the end of the day. Chinese companies know how to heat treat D2, but they don't consistently heat treat D2 well. D2 has been really inconsistent for me. D2 has been good, and we know what to expect from good D2. We've also gotten a lot of D2 that can't hold an edge and can't stand up to more than 30 to 45 minutes of a cardboard before the edge gives out, and you can't sharpen it down past around 250 on the sharpness tester, which is terrible for D2. The D2 has been really inconsistent, which is part of why I backed away from D2 as my favorite budget steel. And I'm kind of torn between 9CR18 and 14N20. They both do roughly the same. They both do a good job with edge retention, and they're fairly easy to sharpen up, so I can't complain too much there. D2 on a fixed angle system, however, is a pain in the dick. I like the Damascus that I've tried. I haven't done much in the way of Damascus. I haven't. We've only done the one Damascus knife from 704 gear, which performed well enough. It performed about like 9CR18 does. It did good enough. Um, but that's all the Damascus we've done. So we got like one data point, and that's it. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, we got about 15, 20 minutes, and then I'm going to cut the live stream and go upstairs. The Luzon, I think, is 8CR. I believe the Luzon is 8CR. Don't quote me on that, but a quick Google search will probably get you the information. I do not believe it's D2. I said I believe it's ACR 13. All right, Punisher, take it easy, man. Have a good one. Enjoy your errands. I said we're not going to run for much longer, anyways. Well, no, it's just D2 on a fixed angle system that can be a pain in the ass. And the biggest part of that is you have no real way of knowing that you've apexed. D2 does not give you much of a burr when you're sharpening on a fixed angle system. So it becomes a pain in the ass because you just don't know fully whether or not you've apexed on your first stone. And then after you've apexed, which can take a long fucking time on D2, the rest of it's not that bad. It's just getting rid of material until you've apexed that is a nightmare. Um, I can't show anything right now. Um, it's just like I said, on a fixed angle system, you don't really get a burr off a D2. When you're freehand sharpening, D2 is not a problem. Um, when you're freehand sharpening, D2 is not a problem. It'll get a burr. It's not too hard to sharpen. It's just with the freehand or with the fixed angle sharpener, you can't put the kind of pressure on it that you need to raise a good burr. So it's just impossible to tell whether or not you've apexed until after you've sharpened it and checked it. And I just hate doing it. It used to not be a major issue, but now that I'm getting the hang of freehand sharpening and my freehand sharpening is getting me almost the exact same results as the fixed angle system, I don't really want to go back to fixed angle. It's just kind of too damn slow and labor intensive. You know, it removes the skills needed. You don't have to have much skill to use a fixed angle sharpener, but god damn, it's slow. It is so slow. Yeah, listen. Now that I've got the hang of freehand sharpening and I've got some confidence with it, I just don't want to go back to the fixed angle. It's just too slow. Let's see. Yeah. I said the one I'm carrying right now is the Kaiser Original 2. It's got the Christmas livery on it. It's got the Christmas wrapping paper on the like it's the full Christmas edition. And I got that on sale for 35 bucks because they were trying to get rid of them. And so I didn't have to spend 70 on it. I just spent 35. And I really like that thing. Um, have you looked at the Kaiser Aegis? Aegis. That one is that one is very budget oriented, but it's also very good. I like that one a lot. But yeah, if you know how to freehand sharpen and you can get really good results freehand, the fixed angle systems are a step backwards. If you don't know how to freehand sharpen and you haven't developed the skills, then the fixed angle systems do great. They compensate for a lack of skill. The CJRB Tigris, is that the one you're talking about? Because I wouldn't buy it. I would not buy it. But yeah, the fixed angle system, once you can freehand sharpen and get the same level of sharpness the freehand system can, or the fixed angle can, um, then it's a step backwards from freehand sharpening. But the Tigris, that thing hot spotted like crazy. It made so many hot spots in my pocket, like I could feel the outline of the knife stinging me for hours after I took it out of my pocket. Like it hot spotted like a motherfucker. I've never had a knife do that before, but it was so uncomfortable. Like the steel's okay on it. It did okay at Cardboard Slayer. The ergonomics are kind of iffy at best, but it hot spotted in my pocket so fucking bad. God, like I am still mad about that. So yeah, yeah, no, some knives you can definitely feel them on your leg when they're in your pocket. That one was so bad. That one hot spotted so bad. Like your mileage may vary, but I did not enjoy it one damn bit. And like I really like the Tigris and I bought it thinking, hell yeah, I'm gonna carry the piss out of this thing. And after 2 or 3 days, I was like, nope, I am done. Yeah, and a heavy knife doesn't bother me all that much. A heavy knife doesn't bother me. I can carry a heavy knife, not a big deal. But yeah, those hot spots, no thank you. There's so many sharp angles on it and so many sharp corners. It's just not comfortable. Yeah, I am falling asleep sitting here. We're going to give it about 10 more minutes and then we're going to wrap this up. I haven't had any problems with button locks, and I haven't had any problems with button actuated automatics. Um, Again, your mileage may vary, but I have had no problems out of them whatsoever. And yeah, I don't mind angles on handles. it can be done right. I've got a Schrade where it's low polygon kind of angles. Perfectly comfortable to carry, perfectly comfortable in the hand. I really, really like it. It's the first assisted opener that I bought, which, because I couldn't find another automatic knife and I didn't know about assisted openers, I was real excited to have it. It was definitely a lot of fun flipping that one open and closed. Now that I've gotten used to your flipper tabs non-assisted and centrifugal opening and all that shit, I don't like assisted open anymore. But that one is not too powerful to close easily, and it does the things really well. I should have put a coarser edge on it for the kind of work I was doing at the time, but I got no complaints about it. Yeah, I haven't had a pocket deploy in a long time. My best Techman Dundee, it opened when I was carrying them on my waistband for the longest time because I didn't have a lot of space in my pocket. And that one partially opened and stabbed the shit out of me when I reached into my pocket, or when I reached into the waistband for it. And the thing was the way it partially opened, I couldn't get it back out of my waistband without closing it, and it wouldn't close. So I kept stabbing myself trying to get it out of the waistband so it would quit stabbing me. And that was an absolute nightmare. I still remember that one like it was interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna try for a nap before my kid gets here. Um, I'm just gonna text them to give me a phone call when they're on their way to wake me up. Yep, land of the free until it isn't. I keep hearing noises outside, but they're not my noises. Oh, yep, my phone has not been plugged into the charger this whole time. I thought it was. So I'm gonna have to charge this thing. Yeah, we got about 3 minutes left, and that's all I got in me. And I don't know how my cable became unplugged, unless I tripped on it at some point and don't remember. But it's okay, the battery is not dead. Well, I tell you what, guys, I think this is probably a good place to wrap it up. I gotta go upstairs and sleep. I gotta go upstairs and sleep. I am shot. I will do my best to have a good nap. Y'all have a good rest of your day. I will catch you on the next one. I am signing out.